Hey y'all, Toad here. Well, this is going to be kind of a little bit of a different video. As some of you know who watch my channel, I was fortunate enough to win a free knife customizing job from Bauer 230. And what this video is for is, you'll kind of get the idea as we go along, but I'm making a video now to show Bauer some ideas I have and to get ideas from him. And if you're watching this, that means it kind of turned out pretty cool. And Bauer said it was fine to release this, along with, we'll be showing you how it was when it came back. And yeah, I'm drinking coffee during this. Sorry guys. Been a long day so far. Now the knife I'm going to send him is a Kershaw Skyline. I should say I've already sent him. That knife is actually on its way to him as we speak. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to use a different one. This is a red-handled one, very similar to the Snap-on company version that they made. And we'll just kind of use it as the guinea pig for the video. Now, everybody who watches my channel knows I love this knife. The one that's on its way to Bauer now is the one I carry every day. And, you know, I can't give much of a better... can't tell you how much more I like the knife than just tell you, you know, I can pick up, I got more than one knife, duh. And, you know, I pick up the Kershaw Skyline probably 10 to 1 over any of the others to carry every day. I mean, and that's including some beautiful knives like, you know, the Spyderco Military. There's a blacked out Tenacious up there. There's another 8, and I thought nothing would replace this little H2. I still carry this anytime I think I might be getting wet or anywhere near salt water. But bottom line is I keep going after the Skyline, and I'm not going to go into all its attributes, because for the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to talk about the things I don't like about it, and maybe give Bauer some ideas about making it even better for me. Well, the first thing is the knife scales. This is where I kind of want, you know, Bauer, have fun with this. I've got a couple of these that are pimped with kind of a reptilian look and kind of the Anzo look with lanyards and all that. Now this is my everyday carry knife, and you'll see, I believe the one you got sent has a satin blade. The black is boring, but I really don't want anything super loud or crazy or something that can get dirty real easy, because I use my knives. When I clean them, I'm cleaning pocket lint out of them, you know, because I carry my Kershaw. So something, you know, maybe in an OD green or a gray, something that matches up. I like your taste in some of the stuff you do. And for those of you who are watching, yeah, I'll have his channel page down there so you can go take a peek. He does some pretty cool work. So what I'd like you to do is just kind of have fun with that. Don't want anything loud, don't want anything crazy. You want something kind of sedate and utilitarian looking, because like I said, this is going to be my everyday carry. So that's as far as the scales go. Anybody who watches me also knows I cannot stand the Kershaw canoe paddle that they call a pocket clip. I would love to see, I know I've seen some of those handles where the screws are inboard and the clip actually bends past the screws covering a bit, then comes back down. In other words, you could mount this thing, this actually a little bit higher, so it would sit deeper in the pocket. And if it'd be possible to incorporate that screw as one of the screws that holds on the new pocket clip, that would give me a much deeper carrier and a much, shall we say, less obvious pocket clip, because I just think these are too big. I think they take away from the looks of the knife, and they're not deep enough. Alright? As far as the blade itself, I almost always use the flipper. The flipper, I think on these, should have a little bit of jimping right here. Not only for traction for opening, but once it's open, it's part of the finger choil. And that's actually pretty slippery right there. And because of the angle it's at, it doesn't wrap around far enough. I don't know if you can tell that. It actually just shoves the finger out this way. So the little jimping that was put on it to assist in the opening would also give you a little traction, and it would kind of correspond with the looks of the lock. So I think that would be pretty cool. And you know, that's really about it. It is tough to find anything really wrong with this knife. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, a very utilitarian look to the scales that matches the blade that I gave you. Same thing with the backspacer, and if the black backspacer looks good with what you come up with, that's fine too. You know, the screws, color, you know, I'll leave that up to you. I want you to have fun with that. I want you to have fun trying to come up with something that I can pull this out of my pocket and not scare, you know, anti-knife panty waists. But also, I don't want to pull something out that looks like it came out of a clown's pocket. You know, an adult utilitarian look is what I'm looking for. The pocket clip, you know, same thing. Just need. I like some of those I've seen you put on the knives that are much thinner, and like I said, have that reverse bend. Where just to double describe that, you can see how the screws are in the top of this. If you were to take this off and bend this way so it came up and bent out, then the screws would actually be going in the backside. And I think, I don't know what the size, I have no way of comparing the size of this one to the ones I've seen you have. Is it possible to move it up and use this screw as one of the two screws that holds it on? That would just give me an amazingly deep carry. That's what I'm looking for. I like to be able to put this in my pocket and have as little of the knife showing as possible. And of course, in also reducing the amount of space that canoe paddle takes up. And then the jimping. Those are the probably the three big things I'm looking for. And then to give you an overall idea of what I'd like the knife to look like when it comes out, the feel it has to have as far as looks go. So, I'm going to send this video on off to Bauer, and we'll see what it looks like, and what we come up with, and what he wants to, can do, will do, later on. Hey y'all, Toad here. Well, this was the reference knife you saw in the first half of the video, and I talked about some of the things I'd like to have changed. So we're just going to set that little guy down there, and that's pretty much what I sent to Bauer. Just picture it with black handles, and this is what I got back. Now I went ahead and opened the package because, you know, I just didn't want to waste the time with that part, but he did package it inside the mailer in this nice little box, and then he had it inside of plastic. And this is the knife. You know, I like it a lot. Check out the stonewashing. I really hope my crappy camera is doing that justice. It has, I mean, earlier in the first half of the video, and just for the record, let me explain that. I went ahead and shot that video pretty much the day that, or maybe it was the day after I sent the knife off to him. I got the idea too late to show the actual knife, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a video, you know, talking about what I wanted, and then when it was all over, show the knife that I got, and just kind of edit it all together. So that's what you're seeing here. Wow. Okay, he had the knife total for just a little under 2 months, which sounds like a long time, but, you know, if you've ever done any of this kind of work, you know it does take time. I also don't believe he does it full time. So, I mean, he has a life on top of it. And, of course, keep in mind, you had the entire holiday season of Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all that in there, too. So the time he had the knife was very reasonable. And let's just go through some of the things that he did. Well, obviously the handle. I like the little cutouts. The comfort level is is almost perfect. I mean, the shape of the Skyline to start with is magnificent for me. You know, this is one of my favorite knives. But he did thicken it up just a little bit, which some people, you know, they like that real thin. I just like a knife that fits in my hand, and this actually fits a little better than the stock one. Stock one's not bad, but just that few, I don't know, 4 or 5 millimeters on each side definitely made a difference. The stone washing is just, that's really cool. If you go to his channel, he actually talks about stone washing, and I think it's actually this blade he's doing. So you can actually see him do it. One of the other things was the pocket clip. Now, we went back and forth. In fact, if you look in the comments section, the first bit of comments or last, however YouTube does it, is going to show some of the actual comments of him and I going back and forth, talking about things that can be done, what I'd like, what he can do. And the bottom line was he just didn't feel comfortable with trying to do what I want to do with the pocket clip. It just wouldn't fit right. So talk about going above and beyond. Again, I hope if the camera can catch that. He actually recessed this whole part, the whole top of the pocket clip. He recessed it down into the handle, which is a really neat feature. I like that. And of course, when he stone washed the clip, it actually blends in pretty well. The positioning is still the same, so this bump here, which looks like, you know, it'd get in the way, it doesn't. For me, it actually falls right in between 2 fingers, so it doesn't cause a hot spot. Very pleased. Very pleased. And the last big thing, what I mentioned in the first part, was the little bit of jimping. Nothing, you know, it's going to be ripping clothing or anything, but just a little something that you can grab onto to open it, as well as have a little bit more of a confident feel when you're holding it. And again, gosh, hope the camera does it. He pulled that off nicely and tastefully. It actually looks factory. The lanyard hole is gone, which is fine, because this blade will never have a lanyard. I would not have a lanyard and a pocket clip on the same knife. That's very, very rare for me. In fact, there's a video coming up. As is quite obvious, I'm a big fan of these Skylines, and I've sort of ended up with more than one. And there's going to be a video coming up that shows my my Skyline collection, as it were. I've always said I'm not a knife collector, but at least in that instance, well, oops, I may have to rethink it. But overall, yeah, I'm very, very pleased with Bauer's work. My input was minimal. Basically color decisions and a few other things, and he did this all himself. And of course, he even replaced the backspacer with one that matches the rest of it. So, all right, y'all want to get a knife pimped? There's a lot of excellent people out there. I won't mention any names. Y'all know them. Well, so heck with it. Yeah, I will. You know, like Gavco and all those guys. Gosh, tough thumbs. Bauer, in my opinion, is right up there with everybody else. There's no doubt about it. Creativity. I mean, you can see that blade is put together nicely. You know, you may disagree with the colors, you may disagree with the stone washing, but it'd be hard to disagree with the fact that that looks like a solid piece of work right there. Fit and finish is great. He even said, oh, there's a little bit of blade play. You know, it's tiny. It is real tiny. He's being a bit of a perfectionist there. In fact, let me just do something real quick. Yeah. Yeah, it's the only reason he mentions it is because it exists enough where he would be wrong if he didn't mention it. But believe me, there's stock blade play in other knives that are worse than this. So for a pimp job, I'm not going to complain one dang bit. So yeah, do I recommend him as an artist and a workman as far as workmanship goes? Yes. As far as customer service, yeah, yeah. I mean, he stayed in contact with me, asked me all the questions he needed to know, took the artistic liberty where he had to, and overall put out a quality product. So if you're looking for a knife pimp job, this Bauer is definitely somebody that I would recommend talking to. All right, definitely his site will be down there. His name's probably already popped up here once or twice, but check him out. Thanks a lot for watching, y'all. We'll see you next time around.